Namaskar. I am Pragya welcoming you in your YouTube channel English Seeker. Today we will discuss about the fourth chapter of the book First Flight, and that title is From the Diary of Anne Frank. In this video we will meet the author and the summary of the chapter. In the next video we will discuss about the character sketch of Anne Frank, the key points of this chapter and the chapter in a nutshell. So let's start. The very first I am going to start about the author, just because it is the part of an autobiography, or you can say this extract has been taken from the diary of a girl, a teenager whose age was approximately 13 years old and whose name was Anne Frank. So this extract has been taken from the diary of the Anne Frank, just because as the title is given here. So let's meet to Anne Frank, that who is she and how was her behavior, what was her liking. So let's start. Anne Frank, who was born on 12 June 1929 and died approx February or March 1949, she was a young Jewish girl who is now considered the most famous figure of the Holocaust. Her diary, which she maintained in Dutch, is the first-hand source of information of the Nazi brutality against Jews. Annie, along with her family, had been living in hiding during the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands in 1944 due to a tip-off to the German police. Annie was arrested along with the others who were in hiding with her. Annie was sent a concentration camp where she and her sister Margot died of typhus. After the war, her father Otto Frank decided to publish the diary so that people could read the musings of a 13-year girl. Several films, television and theatrical productions and even an opera based on the diary have been made. If we will discuss about the summary of the chapter, so for this we have to go on the content of the chapter. So let's start. The chapter starts when Annie is just telling her reason for keeping a diary. So for explaining the reasons, she is telling that Annie explains her reason for wanting to keep a diary. She says she has not written anything like this previously and believes that nobody would be interested in the thoughts of a 13-year-old. Yet Annie wants to share her feelings with someone. Despite having a loving family and a large number of friends, Annie feels she does not have that one true friend with whom she can discuss her deepest feelings and thoughts. So she decides to make the diary her best friend, names her Kitty, and plans to confide her secrets to it. If we will discuss about the family history, so we can say that she begins by telling Kitty about her family in brief. Her family was originally from Germany. Annie's elder sister Margot was born in 1926 and Annie in 1929. Annie's father immigrated to Holland in the September of 1933. He was accompanied by his wife Edith Hollander Frank. Margot and Annie were left with their grandmother in Germany. Margot and Annie reached Holland in December and January respectively. If we will discuss about her grandmother's situation, so what was it? She also noted down in her diary about that. A note of sadness creeps in when Annie mentions that her grandmother died in January that year after being ill for more than 6 months. Annie's birthday hadn't been celebrated in the 2 previous years because of her grandmother's illness. Hence, the birthday celebration this year was meant to be special. And what was its result? So let's see. Annie continues on other day that as it is the end of the school year, her friends and she are nervous about their results. Annie is confident that she and most of her friends will pass. The only subject she is not worried about is math. She is worried about is math. She was not sure about math's result. Annie mentions that she gets along with her teachers. In the Next, she discussed about a problem, a trouble with Mr. Casing. So Annie is quite a chatterbox, which annoys her maths teacher, Mr. Casing. As punishment for talking in class, he sets her a number of essays about her talkativeness. But Annie's essays are so humorous and interesting that she wins him, or you can say she wins the heart of Mr. Casing over, and he becomes resigned to having her talk in class. I mean, he just gave the permission to her to talk in the class. So this was the explanation, sorry, this was the summary in a gist about this chapter. In the next video, we will discuss about the character sketch of Anne Frank and the key points of this chapter and the poem in a nutshell. Till then, stay tuned and stay connected. Thank you.